Life at Lawrence University is similar to most other universities. The average day is work, eat, drink, sleep, repeat. Most days blend together. However, one day will stand out forever in the minds of current students. January 31st, 2018. On this day, an error in the student mail system gave everyone in the school the ability to reply to all other students. Hundreds of students were applying in a single email chain. Phones were dying. Email apps were crashing. Nearly everyone in the school was talking about the event that came to be known as the Great Email Chain of 2018.
So it was like started as normal, and then my friend's phone started to buzz, and like it happened like every once in a while. We were like, oh, that's weird. And then we heard like other phones buzzing, and then people were like checking it, and like then like laughter started to like pop out of nowhere, and then people were like, stop it. And it was like, it looked like a normal scene, but everything was crazy.
I thought it was really funny. I was in a really long study session with some friends when the email started showing up, so I thought it was a really good way for us to all have a collective laugh at how absurd and random it was.
I was like, oh great, like, students are at it again.
I just liked how it seemed to bring everybody kind of together for just a moment. Like, it didn't really matter who you were or what social circles you were in. Like, everybody could participate in this, meaningless and stupid, but like somehow enjoyable occurrance.
Yeah, I thought some of the responses were pretty funny, but I know it was inconvenient for a lot of people. I personally, like, my mail app on my phone kept crashing for a couple hours, which is annoying, and some people like were really inconvenienced if they had to access files like from their mail.
A lot of my friends got like 600. I didn't get as many, but it was still pretty annoying to have to go through and delete all of them.
A lot of people were expressing real joy from it, and others were expressing some serious pain, and I didn't feel anything.
I really enjoyed it. I participated in it, sent the Communist Manifesto to the student body.
People started posting memes. Someone asked someone on a date. It's crazy.
Having talked to many students and having seen different ways students experienced this event, I thought I would sit down with a few students to learn why they or their friends may have sent these emails and what their thoughts were about them now that it was over.
Well, I thought this is as good a time as any. Never again will I have the ear of the whole student body. Pretty much all of campus. So I decided to challenge Mark Burstein to a fight, which I knew he wouldn't accept. So it was a joke, but if he had accepted, then it wouldn't have been a joke. Then I would have been down to fight Mark Burstein, but I knew that was never going to happen. So it was a funny joke, and I love funny jokes,
I think it gave people a sense of freedom, because usually we're not allowed to email, reply all, or whatever. But now suddenly that we can, we're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spam that baby and just send people emails and whatnot. I'm gonna take advantage of this freedom.
I honestly kind of want there to be a sequel at some point, because I never got to send any memes in, and there were some I wanted to send, but I just never got to it.
Having spoken with so many students, I was now curious as to the administration's reaction to this issue and how it was dealt with. I had the pleasure of speaking with the assistant to the Lawrence University president, Jake Woodford, and with the director of tech services, Steve Armstrong.
It looked to me like what was happening was some breakdown in the email system, allowing everyone to reply all to a listserv, which, as I understood, it wasn't something that was supposed to be possible. So I got in touch, I sent an email to Steve, and this was just as it was starting to pick up steam, and so I forwarded an email to him out of the thread and just said, hey Steve, it looks like there's a problem with the listserv.
By 7 o'clock we had the problem stopped, and considering the first email didn't come out until just about 5, that was pretty quick once we really became aware that there was a problem. That was as simple as putting in a rule that stopped the delivery of that thread, and then shortly after that we stopped the whole problem where people couldn't create new threads on that email distribution list. It was neat to see, the spontaneous reaction from people and how quickly people reacted and were able to send stuff. and anticipating the fact that, this wasn't going to last long because IT was going to fix it. I mean, there were several responses that sort of anticipated that, this was going to end pretty soon, and they were right about that.
Having spoken to the administrators and students at Lawrence, I learned the varied aspects of the event that people recalled best. Many remembered laughing, others being annoyed. I suppose the main lesson to be learned from this event is that students love taking opportunities to spread chaos and exploit errors as a way of removing themselves from stressors of everyday life. Things went back to normal 2 hours after the event began. However, everyone would remember the event that came to be known as the Great Email Chain of 2018.